That's why the period year, Crystal, a lot of mess happened in my life. That's how I was introduced to the shelter. And the lady, the probation officer, she had contacts already. So I don't know what she explained to them, because that shelter nagegela abafazi abangena my family abangena kaya, homeless. It's for the homeless, you know. So when I got to the shelter, that's when I saw ukuthi yeah, life yakuthatha ikubeke. I never thought I'd be out there begging manje for ama 2 rand, ama 10 rand, you understand? Like now my life depends on a 10 rand. Now, because I was out of the drug space, I met a girl, and she was a cat smoker. So I didn't know who to pick up my cat. I didn't know who she had an addiction. All I knew was ukuthi bekumuntu ophuzayo alcohol. And she was from around my neighborhood, Gaslam. So now, okay, sharp. Njoba nginabangani sengiphumile kuguy. Yonke into mele ngiqale phansi futhi, right? Interact with people, you know, find myself now, you know, because I put a lot of things on hold during that time. I put my music on hold. I put everything on hold because Mauzo to your studio, you're joy shy. So I put my whole life, you know, I put my whole life on pause. So now ngibuyile ngisekaslami and I'm done with my matric, and now there's this girl from around there. Maybe 5, 6, 7 years. So she seemed to be understanding me and all of that, and everything. And then this one time, she's doing something. She's, you know, we had feet, and I'm like, what's that? And then it was cat. She's like, no, it's cat. Try it. And then I tried it. And then I smoked. And then ever since ngajwayele culture yakhe ukuthi when we drink, we smoke. We drink, we smoke. Every time we have a good time, siyabhema.
It's a combo.
Yeah. So now she took me and because mina ngiyangwe, she took me to her dealer. And she said, no, I think I'm alright, you know. But at the back of my head, I knew very well Wuti. But like this girl, she never knew my history, Wuti. I was in the drug space and all of that. But there's no way. Yeah. So now she took me to her drug lord, and when we got there, it was clear from the way she was doing things with a guy, you know. She tried in exchange for a bag with cat. And a bag of cat is like 50 rands. Fortunately, because Vele Besing Jailo would smelling is mele and have the, you know, stand up for myself, you know. And this girl got disappointed. Give me what's like me na shooting by say whatever I don't know. So but then I continued and I'm smoking. Even, you know, I continued smoking. I smoked that for an extended 3 years, smoking cat, heavy on cat. And at the time when I was smoking cat, I was still able to balance life because Giti, they never knew. My parents never knew. Only abantu senza nabo lento le knew. Then I met another friend. He's a guy. So that's when I was introduced to crystal meth. So crystal meth, I zang up in crystal meth out of ukuthi peer pressure or nginenkinga ekhaya, or I'm not happy with myself, whatever. No, I smoked crystal meth because of ukuthanda izinto. And crystal meth was the worst nightmare. The day I started crystal meth, the day everything went haywire. I continued to smoke, and then I tried again to sell crystal, this time alone.
And how did that turn out?
It was a disaster.
Getting high on your own supply?
It was a disaster. Yes, I was getting high on my own supply. I forgot, Guti, when I was doing it the first time around, I was sober-minded. And then now, it's different. Because now it's not about being in the environment. It's also being about the addict yourself. You're an addict. You are there. Now we're involved. You are there now. So now it's not a matter of you are distributing pain. Now where you are there. You are within. So when it's juta, when it's shy. And also, the person that introduced me to Crystal, made it look like it was going to be an easy thing. Kantina young noka. And it kind of got me in trouble because for me to start selling crystal, it was a startup that I had asked for.
Okay.
You understand?
Who did you ask?
I asked this other dealer that I knew that I would hear about, and then I asked him, Guti, okay, cool, I need help and I need to start something up and I don't have the funds. Please assist me. And he was like, oh, okay, cool, but you're on your own. It's fine. I like Guti, you are young and you want to do something, but it's fine. But you're on your own. Should please don't fight. Because you don't want to work for me, you want to do your own thing. So whatever happens, it's on you. One thing I'm just going to tell you, just don't do it. Don't operate at home. I'm like, okay, no problem. Sharp. Gives me whatever. And then I go to the friend of mine, long introduce her, okay, ish dude, as push it. This guy. It didn't work out. Then I continued. And then continue me.
So how did you continue so no you stop?
I couldn't. And now I was, because of this guy said, give me, as much as Ngupi startup, you are going to, I need you to give me my stats. I don't want profit. I don't want nothing. Le peone stock is what you give back. And then when I use your profit to continue doing your own thing. I need to because manje my fans. Okay, no problem. So now I'm just saying, I'm going to face this person. Because now, yabo, now I'm going to face
how much do you owe him?
the figures I can't mention, but it was yeah,
Substantial amount.
Not really, no. So now I can't face this person. And remember, into kanje mawuyenza awu consult nabazali into zakho zasestradini, right? So uzifakile mele ukuthi uzikhiphe. And I remember, and long introduced to Crystal Meth. I didn't tell him Guti who I got the stuff from, because that guy, remember, he said, ungangifaki mina, whatever you do, ungangifaki. So now I had to lie to say, no man, issue asking for But anyway, it's just of the matter, let's push. you know. And when you're a guy, so you can be a front line, you understand, so that they don't take advantage of me. Front line young bayizisa now go managing under debt. Front line angikwazi ukuyiconfront ukuthi mfethu uyazi ukuthi njengoba ungibhayizise kanje phela mina, you understand. I had to make that work. I needed to make that work, you know. So now you have trouble with the dealer, and dealers have boys. You get what I'm saying? It's a problem. Phela imali, anything that has money in the streets, it's a problem. Istrateni imali. Phela mawuzonginoki into engibekela isinkwa, kushuthi wena ucabanga ukuthi uhlakaniphile. Ucabanga ukuthi uclever wena. You understand? And manje clever, so dealer nje nawe kahle nje. But I told myself ukuthi ngiyaya ngiyomtshela ukuthi shimfethu mina as in yeah ngicine sengizithola ngabe manje izinto zama kahle. Like I had to be honest, you know. And he was like, yeah, nah, I knew ukuthi bobe. Nami mawuza kimi ngale proposal mina bengazi kahle ukuthi because it was in my early stages. Yeah. You know? That's why I gave you a certain amount of stock, because I knew. I knew. And then that's when I learned more lessons. Okay, sharp. In lifestyle, drugs and being a smoker or being a distributor, like information fast, ifika fast, ihamba fast, like because abanye ababhemi bayahamba baza kudila ngegama lakho bazosnitcha ukuthi bathole a bag or akuthengiswa akuphimpe, or you understand, like information moves like crazy. When wazitshela ukuthi umuntu akazi nix kanti uyazi yonke into, even before you start sekayazi ukuthi kwenzakaleni kuphi kanjani nobani, you know. So I was still a baby. I hadn't mastered okay, this is what's up, you know. So I was shocked. That's why the period Crystal, a lot of mess happened in my life because I lost my job. I lost a lot of things. Crystal changed my life. Crystal wasn't like Cat. Cat was, I could be able to control myself, you know? There was a point where I OD'd. I ended up in hospital. When I got out of hospital, I continued to ngabi right. Bese right, you know? Plus, also, I was going through other things as well, you know. My life, I can't even like break down certain things the way I want to break them down, yeah. So, and then I ended up being diagnosed with depression and anxiety and PTSD. So, but I didn't feel depressed. I didn't feel I didn't feel the symptoms. I don't know if depression is something you're supposed to feel or is, I don't know. I don't know. But I didn't feel, when they told me, I was being surprised because I was happy, like, I actually stayed in hospital for 3 weeks. Ne? And my first week of being in hospital, they didn't know nokuthi. Yeah. So that's why I'm telling as much as me, I wasn't feeling like I'm depressed or anything, but I was going through some stuff, you know? But it never crossed my mind that it could be depression. You understand? So when I went to the doctor, normally, right, like I'm not feeling well, and you know, I like right, and I was having certain pains, I was having trouble sleeping, I was having trouble, you know, so I just wasn't coping. like bengasakhona no concentrate like nje bengekho right. So I go to the doctor and banginika ama-vitamin first time around, second time around. But look bagcina babona ukuthi no, actually I think we're gonna refer you for further, you know. And then when they refer me, that's when it was concluded, you know, we think you are depressed. You know, that was another part of my life where I had to spend that amount of time in a ward, in a mental ward. You understand? But we were mixed because abanye the schizophrenia, abanye there were yeah, like those different, you know, and no phones are allowed in the ward because I don't know, but no phones are allowed. No, you can't just have your snacks. Like it's not like a normal. It's in hospital, but it's not like the other normal wards there. Ukuthi abakulethela ukudla and then uhlala nokudla kwakho anytime awuhalela iswiti uyalidlo in no. Yeah, udla a certain time. Bayazithatha bayazifaka elokheni. Udla a certain time. Yonke into certain time. Niyavuswa ngo-4 o'clock ekuseni. Kumele nigeze nonke. Kumele niphuze medication nonke. Like you understand? Like it's like you are being babysitted. Like you are being more. Yeah. Yeah. I spent most of my time there, like seeing the other ladies, Gucci. They are in worse situations. They are not okay. Omunye sekaso because divorce, family, lost everything. In omunye, you understand? Like there's a lot, but I think as much as Mina, they felt Gucci. I had PTSD and I had depression and anxiety. And also they didn't, like, I didn't feel like it was that deep with me the way it affected the other ladies ngakhona. Like it changes even the movement yakho abanye abasa, like everything changes. Abanye in speech, it's no longer the same, and I had to go through that when I was on the medication because of the side effects, you know. I couldn't. That's what made me stop taking the medication. I couldn't. It's either I oversleep, you know, and manje oversleep kwami and being slow, speech sometimes slow. I can't, you know, put in my vocab the way I can't structure it. Like it was hard. So I couldn't. I had to stop. You understand? But yes, it was helping me. Ukuthi ngibe calm. Like kakhulu. Not over, because I'm an overthinker. Overthinking kakhulu. Like bengiba calm. Neenga, you know. Usually, mawungitshela udoti bengithatha manje, you know. But when I was on the pill, I was able to like calm down. Like ngathi uba irobot nyana. I don't know if you can. Ngathi uba irobot. It was really hard for me. And I hid it from my family the first week I got into the hospital with Escalation. I just went MIA. So they found out, and then, yeah, you know, and I just didn't want to be around anybody at that time. And I think that's why now they kept me a little bit longer, because they felt like I was a risk to myself. When you see a problem as a person, whether any problem, you need to try to find solutions, find ways, because I found myself in the darkest of dark corners, and it wasn't nice. It wasn't a nice space, and that's the part of my life that a lot of people don't know. A lot of people, they see me this bold girl, this strong girl, strong personality. They don't know, Gucci, I've gone through that, and now that I'm talking about it here on this platform, I'm not talking about it because I want people to feel sorry for me. It's because mental health is a real thing. You understand? It's a real thing. And it does affect, and everything starts somewhere, you know? And zinama stages, listen to Liz. It matures with, yeah, you know? So I found myself, like, because emsebenzini bengilwa, like the fighting, mina bengilwa everywhere. I was fighting everywhere.
What to end up in prison?
Yeah, in prison, I didn't think I would end up there because of how many things I've been exposed to that could have landed me up in prison, but never really landed me there. The anger that I've always had from childhood to, and not dealing with it, and not, you know, and building a wall for my pain and a wall for my, I ended up like being very resentful towards my family. I started like being like very, very rowdier even. And I was now starting to like being in the house. But I wouldn't invite like people, you know? I wouldn't invite people to come over, and no, whatever that I was doing, I would do it alone. And being my total equipment, everything, you know? And obviously, iyathusa nisebenzisa into bathi ibhodi, iyathusa lento lena. Sometimes you want imnyama, you know, so it was messed up. And sometimes if I didn't have pugile, the material I couldn't say, but I have to use a globe. And the U one, so that you can do a J pipe. We call it a J pipe. And sometimes I'm phela we addict. Bayibekile lapha maybe le sebenzayo akakashi. Uyathatha wena uyasho ukuthi hayi ngizoyi-replace, uyayithatha. You understand? So it starts kanjalo manje endlini mabona ukuthi ngathi lento yakhe lo secala yas-affecta thina, you know? So now it was a thing of ukuthi, yeah, things were getting out of hand, and mabacala bathi bayangikhuza ngafuna ukuzwa next. It got to a point where they decided, it's okay, sharp, fine. We're gonna take you to a rehab. And the person that was implementing rehab was my dad. So now my mom reaches out to my dad, you know? When he reaches out to my dad. Because my dad, he's in my life when he feels like he wants to be. He's in, and when he feels like it's convenient for him, he's in. When he doesn't feel like he does, he's not going to be there. Regardless of ukuthi mina ngiyenzani angenzi, like makafila ukuthi ufuna uba khona uba khona, makafuna akafuni. And also I feel like because of the lifestyle mina lebe ngiphila, he felt like maybe I was gonna taint his reputation or his career, you understand? So, but then mtanako. But anyways, he then came. I don't know what conversation I had with my mom. He came and then he was like, okay, no, it's cool. So I think I'm going to take you to come and stay with me. But on conditions. Conditions that you go to rehab. So I'm going to give you a task. You're going to go and look for a rehab. And then after looking for a rehab, you're going to give me the name of the rehab, the location, and banking details, right? And then I'm going to pay for you to go there. Because before I take you, I need to be assured to clean. Now, my mom was given a task. Rehab. She's like, okay, I'll do that. Following day comes. I'm preparing for me. I pack my clothes. And then prepared myself, woke up, took a bath. How? Okay, guys, Melanie and my parents. Sing ready. For me, another reason why I was excited, I think that's another thing, like even maybe my mom or my family or even extended people from the outside forgot to ask ukuthi, why were you so happy and prepared to go rehab without even a hassle? I was prepared because the way Baba proposing a corner, he said, find yourself a rehab, I'll pay. After paying, when you're back from rehab, I take you, you come and stay. So give me it was a thing of, eventually I will get to have a relationship with this man. And if this is what it takes for me to go through this process so that I can have a relationship with him, I'll do it. So it wasn't even about Gucci. I needed it, yabo. But I only agreed because I thought it was okay if this is the only chance I have, because I've been reaching out to this guy and he would reject me. He would tell me he was going to show up and he wouldn't show up, and so maybe. So, and then, yeah, so that's why, that's the main reason why I agreed to go there. And most people don't know. He doesn't even know. So now, okay, I'm waiting. And then by rehab, and then meleba patale. We're waiting for him to tell for our bank details. I say umuntu kuma meeting manje. Use flight in kupha keep her imali. But my mom is not telling me ukuthi nigga gaga fagi imali. Saying about impatient manje, you understand? So I think that's when my mom looked for an alternative, because at first she told me Anya somewhere in Parktown. So that's when she looked for an alternative, because the man is doing what he normally does and it's delaying the process now. So I was also determined, also because of I really wanted the relationship with my dad, So I felt betrayed. I felt ngathi bangenza islima. I was very angry. And I was sober. I even slept home. You understand? That's how serious I was. I packed my own bag. I didn't have to wait for them. I did everything. And then now, okay, sharp. Ipulukwani is not a problem. Yes, it's still rehab, but now let gag. I let gag come lot. And I'm thinking to myself, Pesgwa matroma angaga engilegu basa bangisangisa kwenye futhi kumele ngiyofasiwa le manje. And I'm going to fight it. I'll go to any rehab, not that one. I'm going to fight it because for me, I know I don't need rehab. I'm only going namanje because of my own reasons, And maybe that was my mistake. I never expressed my reasons to anybody. Yabo. So I got angry. I started shouting at my mom, shouting at Lini, shouting at my grand, And then kokong matati ipin little pick up. Tang shy. Ngaba angry worse. Ngaba angry worse. I took a kharaf. I went outside. I smashed my mom's windscreen. And I was like, you know what? Ngona kampani once ningibophisa. Elet kaka kusukela ngiyakhona. And that's when cops got involved. Cops came because my grand called them. They came. When they came, only when they got there, that's when my mom explained, Guti, the reason she went for a let gag, it was not because she wanted me to go there, Guti, torture. It was because babam besega thulile, angasaphendula amakhola, angasa,
Invasive.
Yeah, but why couldn't you be honest with me and tell me, ngumuntu, you understand, you know? Tell me, okay, looking forward, this is the situation now, you know? And job situation is so, you know, nami as umama, ebilami part, I would want you to go to rehab. So, as much as Leah Baba Kosinga sapasang indaba, for me, and now for your own sake, this is another alternative. And then I went to Sun City. No, I went to the holding cells first. Oh, and I always hear, and I'm not saying, don't get it wrong, I'm not saying ukuthi ukubosha into emnandi or into right or in, but honestly, I never really had a tough experience when I was inside. From the holding cells, you know, I was free. I was doing whatever that I wanted to do. I think it was because I accepted, yes, into mawazi, and you take an accountability, you know what into so. And then like you don't even have to justify yourself. Yeah, but with the way you reacting upon it erases the whole point. Yeah, even if being right, for being angry, for feeling like I'm betrayed, but it doesn't make it right. It's not okay, you know. Maybe I could have decided to leave gay, go MIA, and shower more, and Wilson come, and you know. So it doesn't justify it. I did it. It was wrong. It was not okay. During that whole process of me being an addict, like being hardcore and getting out of hand, I put my mom through a lot, you know. She tried being the best mother she could be. She tried doing the best. She tried showing up. She tried, you understand. She did everything she could. She did a great job, in fact, you know. Because she even lost her job because of me being up and down, her having to attend to my situation. I understand. And imagine I lost my job. Now she loses her job. Now I have a child that needs to go to school, a child that needs transport fees to be paid for, a household that needs to run. There's a pensioner in the house, you know? So things started getting really, really bad. You understand? And, but she still kept on strong. And then I think me breaking the windscreen, she understood because I remember on the same day saying, okay, I'm sorry for not being honest. Go. She did say, still, you understand? And it wasn't right. She wasn't even supposed to apologize because whatever she was doing was for my own good purpose, you know? For me to be a better mother tomorrow to my child. You can't be disrespectful to abantu abadala. It's not right. No matter what you're going through, no matter the level of anger you have, you know? And me being the only child to go my mom, I'm putting myself in her shoes, how it felt, what I put her through. I'm just trying to put myself in her position, yabo. So I thought to myself, I was not in a position to expect Ipesuko when I was in Sun City. I'm not in a position to pick up your phone and call and be like, no. I'm not in a position where, you know, I have to make demands or anything. I just need to have to suck it up and you know. And I got to a 15, I adjusted in Sase 15. A 15, a police station. At the holding cells. Because I was with like there was Umakoko, there was 3 girls there, there was there was like a group of ladies, you know? And like I was telling them, Utsimina, I'm not going to get out, guys. When I get out of here, I'm going to Sun City because I got arrested on a Friday. And I knew very well, Guti, Maubosh on a Friday, you're only going to appear on a Monday. You're going to spend the whole weekend there. So I said to them, so I have to adjust ngisesela in my holding cell ukuthi yabona lamalanga lawazayo ngizobe ngile yabo so manje ngiqala uku-adjusta la so nina ningangistress nizoloku ningistressa ningitshela ukuthi siyaphuma because there's a thing with people who are arrested like they have this thing yokuthi like bafuna ukukhuthazana ukuthi sophuma inini nasinda you know and sometimes asiyekela ukujuthana sikhuthazane ngokuthi sophuma uyayazi into yenzile like ungaboni hope la kungena hope khona when kunezinye izinto you just need to be realistic. You understand? You can't say ngadraina ulwandle lonke. It's like be realistic, Mount. Be realistic, you know. In Sun City, I spent 7 days, and then when I got out, even when I was actually shocked, Guti, they said give me 7 days. Our subway leaves into community service. I actually hoped, Guti, I don't go back home. You know? Besides the fact, Guti, rehab, the breaking of the rain screening, there's a lot of things. You understand? There's a lot.
Did you manage to shake off this crystal addiction?
Yeah, I did. But then, like, that's what hurts me, Guti. It's not about Guti. I don't want to dwell too much on the math, the addiction. You understand? Yes, addiction in now my impacts why angekho right, but I don't want to dwell much on it, yabo, because everything that got me to where I am is deeper than crystal meth. You understand? So, it doesn't revolve. I'm not justifying my addiction for crystal meth at the time, but it doesn't revolve around crystal meth. For me, it's about inking azam and my issues, and the underlying matter is deeper than crystal meth. So, I don't want to dwell on it too much. So that's why I if it wasn't about crystal meth, because I was being hambila my program, service, court update, cleaning. So all of those things, like everything came back right to show it's not even about the addiction. There's just deeper things. Yeah, that's how I ended up staying in a shelter in town, Joburg CBD, Beria. So stayed there for 2 months. Yeah. So that's how I was introduced to the shelter. And the lady, the probation officer, she had contacts already. So I don't know what she explained to them, because that shelter nagegela abafazi abangena mafamily abangena kaya, homeless. It's for the homeless, you know. Some of them who are there, they are there because maybe they do have family, but they were you know, violated by family, and it's like safer, like, you understand, but it's a home. It's a place for the homeless. When I get there, they offer counseling. It's a Catholic Roman home. So yeah, Nabusista and all. And then it's 25 ladies. And then when I got there, I got the shock of my life. Every day, 10 rand. So you were gonna get evicted if we are lot. So in the morning, you wake up ngo 4 o'clock. No, kebanvusa. Mabanvusa ngo 4, nyakeza. All of it's a must. Nyakeza. Mawuqeda ugeza uyubuyele empeteni wakho uyolala. No. mawuceda ukugeza uya embhedeni wakho ulungisa umbhedo wakho uyandlalula. Then after ukundlalula kune-roster. I-roster inama-duties. So we are the ones that keep the facility clean. We are the ones that clean the facility, you know? So you do your beds, and then after that, you go down for breakfast. Breakfast is at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, you eat tea and peanut butter and jam. 4 slice. And then so from 6 o'clock you have your breakfast. You have a place la nidlela khona breakfast in. The same place la nidlela khona breakfast in is the same place la nidlela khona supper in. So after that, maniqeda ukudla breakfast, which is by 6:30 mele kube soqedile ukudla. Khona oyenza o-delegated usayenza izitsha. Khona dedicated ukuthi kumele ayenze la kudlelwa khona kumele ayenze i-toilet stuff khona kumele, you understand, like duties are split, yabo. So and then after duties you dress up. 8 o'clock everyone out of the shelter. So you're not allowed to stay the whole day and chill. No. 8 o'clock you need to get out. Uhambe estradeni. Ukuthi uyohlala the whole day estradeni or uyomaketa or uyenzani ukwakho. But bona they mostly encourage us ukuthi maniphuma guys out there, try ukuthi niyofuna imisebenzi ni understand. The reason why singafuna ukuthi nihlale nilale nje kuphela ukuthi nina ama adults nibadala, so we can't let you sleep the whole day. Mele niphume niyobheka nizama ukuthi, because you can't spend your whole life la. Mawubamba 35, you need to have been gone la kule shelter. So the shelter can only keep you up until you are 35. Yeah, well, from 18 to 35. So now I'm new kuyonke le setup le. Ngihlala ku shelter. 8 o'clock kumele ngapha mina phela ngithanda ubuthongo. Ngithanda ukurelax, yazi ngithanda ukurelax. Yo. So 8 o'clock kumele ukuthi manje ngiphume ngestradeni. Yabo? Manje estradeni iJoburg angiyazi like deep azange ngazijwayeza idrata zase Joburg. When I would go to Joburg, I would go to a specific place and come back. I wouldn't roam around Joburg, so I don't know drop. So now uyabona abantu mabaqedile ukuyenza ama duties wabo bathatha amabheki bayaphuma. And everyone seems to know where they're heading. Everyone, yabo. So it's like, okay, and then Mirasazi, you know. So now I'm forced, I need to mingle with someone so that they can help me get with the program, you know. So now this lady, she's like, I came here, ngifike last week, you know. Yeah, man, she explains the situation. She ran out of the house. That's how was because of her uncle wanted to rape her. So she had to run off, which and so she had to run out around that time. And then you know. So that's how she ended up there, because of umalume angekuhlala umalume makamfuna lapha uyamcosha uthi if ahlala naye it's either melalala naye, you know. So it's hectic. So okay. So this girl, see to it, my newbies get along, right? So I'm like, I'm marawena you newbie ba at least on neviki, so you know nyana yabo. So like this, and she's like, nah, it's cool. Usually I spend my days at library, Hillbrow Library. So we would go to Hillbrow Library, spend from 8 o'clock, and then time for you to be allowed back into the shelter was 6 o'clock. Yeah. So from 8 since upumil until 6. When 6 shelter, you can come in, and then when you come in, take a shower, change, wait for supper, No. We get back at our time to ubuyela eShelton is 4:00. From 4 until 6, because supper is at 6:00. Ntambama. Which akunanyama, akudliwi nyama. So it can be papa and spinach or soap or but at least silala sidlile. So sometimes you have days where you spend the whole day since udle said there for slightly you spend the whole day. But I remember so as unemployed abanye ya sharp banawo lama piece shop lawo khona around babuye bambara bahlala eShelter yabo. So where awusebenzi awuna plani awazi umuntu la edrobheni awuna mali ngapha mele everyday keep it 10 rand. Mama keeping 10 rand, it's a problem, inkinga. Because it's just upatela marobalo, upatela uglala, upatela umbhedo. Kahle nge 10 rand. You know? So yeah, and also I was allocated at the shelter so that I can do my community service there. Yes. So the probation officer lady, she put me in quite an experience, but it helped me. At the same time, I was able to complete the task that I was given by the court. So there was a time in December now, the library has to close because it's holiday time, festive season, And we festive season ganje. A lot happens in the streets of Joburg, in Tombazan. And sometimes babamba umuntu inkunzi phambi kwakho, so we understand. And sometimes abanye uthi umcela 5 randi, umcela umuntu wakhona sekafuna ukucela amanye ama-sexual benefits just for 5 rand, 10 rand. Some other girls from other shelters would end up being prostitutes and end up babona ukuthi ngcono ngizisebenzela kulama clubs lawa, once, because I can't be sleeping with niggas for 10 rand, So I thank God, Guti, and I'm not saying I judge the hustle. I don't judge anyone's hustle. It's not good to judge anyone's hustle. But I don't think I'm in that type of industry. So ngikwazile ukuthi ngikwazi ukubekezela ngibekezelele situation yami ngendlela engizibekezelele ngayo, I'm still not okay. I'm better in terms of dealing with certain things. I'm not as impulsive as I used to be before. So I believe there's progress, but for the fact that everything is still at the back of my mind and I can't easily let go of things, it shows me that I'm still not okay and there's still underlying issues and, And right now, I feel like I'm much more stronger because most of my testimonies of my experiences, I would cry a lot when I talk about most of the things that I have gone through. I would cry a lot. But now I'm able to talk about certain things and I don't even shed a tear. And it's unfortunate that we live in a society where some people have this mentality of thinking, Guti, when you share a heartbreaking or a sad story or traumatic story, then it's not that deep or it doesn't cut deep or it's not true. You understand? Whereas you get used to pain so much that it becomes a big part of you and you're always just waiting, what's okay, what's next? So yeah, that's why most of people who are going through that kind of phase, I don't know what to call it, end up killing themselves. Because as much as nento noma ungayijwayela kangakanani, ne, into ungayijwayela, but ayikho into engapheli. And siyabantu and siyakhathala. And people, sometimes umuntu doesn't need your money, sometimes umuntu doesn't need you to you know, like be extreme about it. Sometimes all into umuntu ayidingayo ukuthi umbuze ukuthi how are you doing good, how's your day doing, you know, just be nice phela. Sometimes just give umuntu a hug phela, because you wouldn't know what people are going through out there, you know. You can say one horrible thing to someone and you've ruined their whole day or their whole life or their, yeah. So being broken doesn't pay, because you also break other people without noticing, because you are broken it's now, and also now it's not healthy now for you. It creates a very toxic environment for yourself, for you, and yeah, you know. So with me it's even harder, because I mean, there's a lot of things that I do. I do music. If I'm not on music, I'm on radio. If I'm not on radio, I'm trying this. If I'm not on, I'm this. I'm hosting. I'm an MC. I do a lot of things. So, a lot of people know me. You understand? So, it ends up coming. It ends up coming like Ngati. Your life is a movie. There's always something, but at the same time, she's still showing up. She's still, you know. And it's hard. As hard as it is, it's hard. You know? It's hard. So you're not even at a point where you're trying to prove points to people. Guti, I've changed, or this, or like you really, when like when I don't care anymore. Like you really mean it. You really don't care. And it's not good. You don't care because you're selfish, you're self-considerate. No, it's because you are just there. And let it be. Yeah. Well. So yeah, so when I got to the shelter, that's when I saw Gutio. Yeah, life I never thought I'd be out there begging manje for a 2 rand, a 10 rand, you understand? Like now my life depends on a 10 rand. I'm a versatile person and I'm always looking for more better ways. So for me it's not, I'm still finding myself, because I lost so much. I missed out on a lot. So I'm still trying to find myself. So there's a lot. I'm still trying to navigate through everything. It's okay. Until I find the actual, it's okay, this is me. I will keep on doing everything. I do music, rap, piano, I write. I write songs, and also I also have interest in writing a book. I enjoy writing a lot, because I feel like when sometimes how I feel and what I want to say does not come out the way I want it to come out. So I sometimes have difficulties with structuring my vocab. So, but if I just write it down, it's not me saying it out loud and thinking it out loud. I'm just flowing with the pen and paper. So I really enjoy that a lot. So yeah, there's a lot that I like to do. There's a lot. I just want to be stable and build my daughter a home away from everything and anything, and make her my friend and protect her from, you know, like things that I couldn't do for myself, things that were never done for myself. I want to do them for her. I want to be able to be active for her. I want to be able to, she'll always be safe, she'll always be secured, you understand? You know, because I feel like I owe it to her, Guti, nibe right for her, you know? Because now, you see, with the position that I'm in, imagine being raised up by a broken mother. I wonder what history may chances of history repeating itself are really, really high.